So weather in Panay, it's pretty much the same everywhere in the Philippines. It just rains a ton. Uh, it's like there's two seasons, hot with rain. That's pretty much how it goes. Like housing, how housing goes. So like, I lived in pretty much just like houses that were just like concrete squares, just like little concrete boxes, and just like a little bed with a little bed frame, nothing much. Um, but I got a new mission president like towards the end of my mission, and he was like way big on like getting new houses, like getting nicer houses for the missionaries. So like people going to Iloilo definitely had better housing than I did. But yeah, it's not like you're even at your house very often, anyways. You just study and sleep there. It's pretty much it. Go out and work. The cities I served, I didn't really see much crime, uh, except one weird story I have about crime was I didn't tell my parents this until like after my mission. It was in like this pretty far away place in one of my areas, and we had like these super progressive investigators, like super close to baptism, and we were looking forward to going and teaching them. And we get to their house, they weren't home yet, and so in the Philippines, there's these things called chungies, which is like a little store in people's houses. They also like soft drinks or just like just like little stuff. It's like a little convenience store, and right across the street from our investigator's house is a little chungies. So we're just like, well, sit down there and just get a soft drink, buy a Coke, and I'll just sit down, just drink a Coke, and wait for him to get back. And there's a guy walking through, and you can tell he's been drinking. He's just not all the way there, and starts like demanding like money from us, like so he could buy a soft drink. And we're just like, we're not gonna give you our money, and the dude was just like, he's like, what? All I have to drink is water, but you guys are drinking soft drinks. You think you're better than us? And I kind of like pulled out a machete. It was like kind of like threatened to like slice me. It was pretty crazy, and so like Panay and I just start running, and he's like yelling all this stuff to us, and like everyone in the neighborhood's like coming out of their houses to look what's going on. They see this American just like running down the road, and this dude with a machete just yelling at me. So that was not too good of an experience. And we got back to our apartment, and later that night we get a text from like our investigators. It's like, hey, it's probably smart you guys don't come back to this neighborhood. Like, you guys are probably in danger if you come here, so I wouldn't come here anymore. So we're super bummed, super sad about that. And it was probably like a month and a half later, we were like the painting and I were wondering like, dude, maybe like it's cooled down a while, go back there, reteach our investigators, and we prayed about it that night, and prayed about it again in the morning for just going over our plans, and then before lunch we had to go to the market and buy stuff for lunch, and so we go to the market, and we see that guy there at like the public market, and he looks at us and he's just like, I swear if I ever see you guys, you're dead. It's like, and so we're like, yep, well, I think that's the answer to our prayers. We're not going back there. So that was the only crime I ever ran into, which is a pretty crazy experience. But I promise, like, I was safe my entire mission. Every other elder I knew was pretty safe. So uh, you'll be safe, don't worry, despite that story. But there's just a bunch of stuff to do, a bunch of things to see. It's a gorgeous island, as I said before. Just make sure you're that elder that's known for like going out and doing stuff on P Day, like not just sitting in your house taking a nap because that's lame. Like you gotta go out and do stuff. Like you're only, especially if you're a foreigner, like you're going to the Philippines, you're only there for 2 years. Like chances are you won't go back. So just have a blast. Just like do stuff. Go out and do Filipino stuff. It's probably like that's probably like my biggest thing. Would probably help me the most. Was just like when I got there, I was like, okay, I'm now Filipino for the next 2 years. So just do everything, Eat rice with your hands, eat balut, uh, just do everything a Filipino would do. It makes your mission a lot better, I promise it does. Just stay away from dogs. They're not very clean. Just pretend like you're picking up a rock, and they usually run away. That's a big one. Dogs are pretty dirty there. Don't go petting dogs. I'm a big animal lover, so like I went to the Philippines. Like, I love cats. I love dogs. I just want to pet animals. But the Philippines is the first time I've ever looked at a dog, and I was like, I'm not petting that. Like, saw a cat. Like, I'm not gonna try to pick that cat up.